5 years ago. My wife looked me in the eyes and said, "I can't live like this anymore." Then she packed her bags, left me for a richer man, and disappeared from my life. I thought that was the end of our story. But last winter, someone knocked on my door at 11:43 p.m. I opened it and saw my ex-wife standing there in the snow, crying, holding a little girl's hand. And what she said next completely destroyed me. "My name is Michael. I'm 52. When people hear stories about divorce, they usually imagine screaming, cheating, big dramatic moments. But honestly, most marriages die quietly. Mine did. Laura and I were married for 18 years. At first, we were happy. Small apartment, cheap furniture, late-night fast food dinners. Those were actually the best years. Back then, we still laughed together, still dreamed together. But life changes people slowly. So slowly you don't notice it happening. Things got harder after I lost my construction business. One bad year became two. Then debt. Then stress. I started working longer hours, trying to fix everything. But the more I worked, the more distant Laura became. At first, it was small things. Cold conversations, short answers, long silences at dinner. Then one night, she said something I never forgot. "I'm tired of struggling." Not angry, not emotional, just tired. And somehow, that hurt worse. A few months later, I found out about Daniel. A real estate investor. Expensive suits. Luxury cars. The kind of man who never checks price tags. Laura met him through a friend. At least that's what she told me. She swore nothing happened at first. Maybe she was telling the truth. Maybe not. At that point, it didn't matter anymore. Because emotionally, she was already gone. The night she left was strangely calm. No screaming. No broken dishes. She packed quietly while I sat in the kitchen, like two strangers trapped in the same house. Then before walking out, she stopped near the door and said, "I deserve a better life." That sentence stayed in my head for years. Not because I hated her. Because part of me believed she was right. The divorce destroyed me financially. But emotionally, it destroyed something deeper. My confidence. My sense of worth. For a long time, I blamed myself for everything. I stopped dating. Stopped trusting people. Stopped believing anyone stays when life gets ugly. And honestly, I became bitter. Not loud bitter. Quiet bitter. The dangerous kind. But eventually, life keeps moving whether you want it to or not. I started over slowly. Small jobs. Long days. Cheap meals. Eventually, I opened a tiny repair business. Nothing glamorous. But stable. Peaceful. And for the first time in years, my life became quiet again. Not exciting. But honest. Then came that winter night. 11:43 p.m. Snow everywhere. I almost didn't answer. But something told me to check. And there she was. Laura. Older. Thinner. Exhausted. Standing beside a little girl who looked about 6 years old. At first, I barely recognized her. Then she looked up at me and whispered, "Michael, please." I let them inside. Not because I forgave her. Honestly, I didn't know what I felt. The little girl stayed quiet the entire time. holding a stuffed rabbit tightly. Laura looked around my small house like she was entering another life. Then she finally said it. Daniel left us. Us? Not me. Us? That word changed everything. Apparently, the perfect life wasn't perfect. Daniel had money. A lot of it. But according to Laura, he controlled everything. What she wore, who she talked to, where she went. The luxury became a cage. And over time, she realized something terrifying. She had traded love for comfort. And lost both. Then came the part one wasn't prepared for. The little girl's name was Emma. She wasn't mine. But for some reason, she kept staring at me like she already trusted me. That broke me more than Laura's tears. Because children don't fake emotions. And I realized immediately. They had nowhere else to go. That night, after they fell asleep in the guest room, I sat alone for hours. Because all the old pain came back. The betrayal. The humiliation. The feeling of not being enough. Part of me wanted revenge. Wanted her to feel exactly what I felt. But another part of me, the older part, was just tired. Tired of hate. The next morning, Laura apologized. Not dramatically. Not like in movies. Quietly. Honestly. She admitted something I never expected. I thought money would make me feel safe. Then she looked down and added. But peace matters more. That sentence hit hard. Because years earlier, I would have done anything to hear her say that. People think forgiveness is about the other person. It's not. It's about deciding how much pain you want to keep carrying. I didn't take Laura back romantically. Some wounds don't heal like that. But I also didn't throw her out. Because life had already punished her enough. And strangely, I no longer needed revenge. Laura stayed only a few weeks. Long enough to get back on her feet. Before leaving, she stood near the same front door she once walked out of years earlier. Only this time, she cried. Then she said, "You were the best man I ever had." I just realized it too late. After she left, I sat alone for a while thinking about life. And honestly, sometimes the people who hurt us most also teach us the biggest lessons. Not about love. About ourselves. Some people leave searching for a better life, only to realize too late that peace, loyalty, and kindness are worth more than money ever will be. And sometimes, the strongest thing a person can do is move forward without becoming cruel.